Joe Biden pardoned you and a number of people who he thought Trump would go after.
No, I take the opposite view. I don't think he should have given the pardons at all.
Really?
No, I don't think he should have, and I was vocal about that at the time.
Can you refuse a pardon?
That's less clear because in the case of the January 6th committee, he pardoned essentially the whole committee.
And the fact that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain. Behold.
I'm Congressman Adam Schiff with some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republican.
Bill Maher and Greg Gutfeld have finally had enough of Adam Schiff, and this time they're swinging with full force. No gentle critiques, no half-hearted jabs. They went straight for the political jugular. For years, Schiff led America through a never-ending labyrinth of conspiracy theories, chasing the phantom of Russian collusion like a detective in a bad soap opera. He waved flimsy, fairy tale evidence like sacred relics while peddling outright lies as if they were etched in stone. But now the fog has lifted, the facts are out, and even members of his own political circle are turning on him. It's like watching a pack of hungry hyenas rip apart the very man they once cheered for. Only this prey is a smooth-talking operator who's run out of tricks.
About Trump, we talk about him too much. We want to tell people what we're going to do for them. Healthcare, environment, those kind of issues. For example, I've seen you on TV a lot in the last couple of years. I know everything you know or that you tell us about the Russian situation. I don't have a clue what you think about healthcare. I've never heard it. Yeah. I don't know whether you're for Medicare for all or improve Obamacare or get a chicken. I don't know.
Maher brought the razor-sharp sarcasm. Gutfeld came armed with ruthless one-liners. Together, they dismantled Schiff's carefully polished image, piece by piece, until nothing remained but political wreckage scattered across the stage. Every brutal roast, every eye-roll-worthy reaction, every shred of verbal shrapnel hit live on air. The kind of spectacle you'll never see on CNN or MSNBC, without them bursting into flames. Schiff had built himself up as a fearless crusader destined to take down Trump, selling the Russia collusion narrative like it was a sacred prophecy written just for him. He pushed it day and night, season after season, until it all collapsed spectacularly, with zero evidence to show for it. And when the truth came out, silence. No admission, no accountability, just political crickets. That's why, when Maher hit him with the gut punch question, "What exactly have you done for America?" the air froze. Then Gutfeld stepped up and torched Schiff's record, ripping into his role and spreading chaos during the COVID era, when clarity was what the country needed most. This wasn't debate. This was demolition.
Adam Schiff, because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding.
So, where was Adam Schiff during one of the most critical moments in modern history? Not tackling urgent threats. Not preparing the nation for a global emergency. No, he was obsessing over impeachment fantasies, binge playing his favorite political thriller, while the real crisis crept in unnoticed. Schiff kept the cameras locked on Trump, turning America's attention away from the gathering storm and feeding the media just enough half-baked bombshells to keep the circus going. While the virus slipped through the cracks, he doubled down on his petty political games. And Gutfeld didn't let it slide. He shredded Schiff's credibility, exposing the warped priorities and personal vendettas driving his actions. Then came the knockout blow. What kind of man misleads an entire nation just to settle a personal score?
On impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my evil twin will say he should go away to prison for a very long time.
That wasn't a jab. It was a career-crushing hit. And yet, somehow, Schiff is still strolling the halls of power, without even a scratch on his record. This is a man who misled the most powerful nation in the world with nothing but political theater, smoke, and mirrors, and walked away without a slap on the wrist. Gutfeld didn't call for prison time, But he made one thing clear. Schiff owes America more than silence. At the very least, he should stand before the country, look the people in the eye, and deliver a real apology, not a politician's smirk and a vague half-regret. For years, he burned through taxpayer dollars chasing headlines, dragging America through a circus of deception for political points. You can't just sweep that under the rug, pat yourself on the back, and move on. An apology won't undo the damage or restore the trust he's destroyed, but it would be a start. And Speaker McCarthy was right. Schiff's removal from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence was long overdue.
Kicked to the curb, and the irony is superb. He went crying to mommy on an app run by Chinese commies. Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U-Haul rentals headed for Texas. He unveiled the highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence? I think not.
Booting Adam Schiff from his committee seat didn't just open a vacancy. It closed down one of Washington's longest-running sideshows. For years, Schiff treated what should have been a position of trust like a stage for political theatrics, smoke screens, and headline-chasing drama. He bled public trust dry while flashing a camera-ready grin, pretending it was all oversight. Now, instead of reflecting on the wreckage he's left behind, he's already eyeing California's Senate seat as if it's his next big magic trick. And if history is any guide, he'll walk into that chamber with the same sleight of hand, the same shady showmanship, and the same obsession with keeping himself in the spotlight. Maher and Gutfeld didn't sugarcoat it. They see a man whose reputation enters the room before he does, and it's not the kind that earns applause. From peddling empty collusion bombshells to turning national security into a partisan playground, Schiff has proven he's more devoted to political pageantry than to genuine leadership. California deserves more than a career spotlight chaser who consistently puts party over principle and ambition over the people he's supposed to serve. If voters give him the mic, they won't be getting a statesman. They'll be signing up for a revival of the Adam Schiff show. Only this time, the audience isn't buying tickets. Martin just hint at why Schiff's Senate run is in trouble. He spelled it out. Schiff is simply too woke for a state that's starting to lose patience with performative politics. He's not always out shouting slogans, but his tone, his perfectly packaged answers, and that career-polished glow give him away every time.
I put out an article last year, and it was called Separating Sports by Sex Doesn't Make Sense. Right. And talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA and the just because it's just socialization. This is insane.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating by sports by sex makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And if you think it doesn't, you can't leave.
And make no mistake, Schiff is more than comfortable cozying up to the far left wing of his party. Case in point, when asked about the hot-button issue of trans women competing in women's sports, he refused to give a clear yes or no. Instead, he sidestepped with Olympic-level precision, dodging the question like a man who spent decades perfecting the art of the non-answer. It was politician gymnastics at its finest, a carefully wrapped statement that screamed, "I'm with them," without having the spine to actually say it. That's the problem. Californians are sick of leaders who tiptoe around cultural flashpoints like they're defusing a bomb, terrified of upsetting the Twitter mob. They want clarity, not choreography. They want leaders who will plant their feet, speak their mind, and own their positions, not pivot, smile, and slide into the next talking point. Maher saw the dodge for exactly what it was and called it out without hesitation. In a race where voters are craving authenticity over polished political theater, Schiff's habit of dancing around the truth might be the anchor that drags his Senate run straight to the bottom. Gutfeld didn't just roast Schiff. He executed a precision strike, dismantling his pitch for a higher office and exposing it as nothing more than a glossy brochure for the same tired brand of ambition voters have seen 1,000 times before.
Pop their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eyes. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. 2 for 2. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured. But to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch.
This wasn't comedy for laughs. It was a line in the sand. America doesn't need more career politicians clawing for clout. It needs adults in the room, leaders willing to make tough calls, tell the truth, and stop hiding behind party talking points. The country needs steady, principled problem solvers, not partisan hitmen. Strip away Schiff's endless fixation on impeaching Trump and spinning half-baked conspiracy theories, and you're left with a big, empty question. What does he actually deliver for the Democrats or for the country? Where's the landmark legislation he's authored? Where's the bold plan to tackle inflation, fix immigration, or strengthen national security? It doesn't exist. His career highlight reel isn't filled with solutions. It's a loop of press conferences, sound bites, and grandstanding meant to keep his name in the news. Gutfeld's takedown didn't just bruise Schiff's ego. It rang the alarm. America has to stop rewarding political showmen for being loud and start demanding leaders who can actually get results.
Given the ongoing political tensions and Trump's actions toward his critics, do you think President Biden's preemptive pardons turned out to be more important than initially expected? Let's first tell people what that means, preemptive pardons. That was pretty unprecedented, right? Before he left office, Joe Biden pardoned you and a number of people who he thought Trump would go after.
No, I take the opposite view. I don't think he should have given the pardons at all.
Really?
No, I don't think he should have, and I was vocal about that at the time.
Can you refuse a pardon?
That's less clear because in the case of the January 6th committee, he pardoned essentially the whole committee.
Because here's the truth. America doesn't need another spotlight addict obsessed with their next TV hit. It needs leaders willing to do the hard, thankless work of governing. If voters keep confusing performance with leadership, they'll keep getting politicians like Adam Schiff, all drama, no delivery. We need builders, not bomb throwers. And now, a new twist is emerging from Washington. Whispers that some of President Biden's recent pardons may not have been signed by him at all. If that's true, it opens a whole new kind of constitutional chaos. Imagine Schiff trying to cash in a political favor for a get-out-of-jail-free card, only for the signature to be ruled fake, forged, or the result of a shady backroom handshake. That's not just drama. That's a legal landmine. And if it blows, Schiff could finally face the accountability he's dodged for years. In a nation where no one is above the law, it's supposed to mean something. Ghost sign pardons and backdoor deals can't be the golden ticket. If Schiff abuses power, no phantom signature should shield him. Real justice doesn't just hit the little guys. It slices through the VIP section too. And Schiff's backstage pass? The clock's ticking.
The FBI came in and arrested the judge. No, I haven't heard that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever read arrested a judge. So is this significant?
Well, I think
I'm not going to comment on something I don't know more about than what you've just told me.
You read about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I read about it, but I don't know.
So you don't trust anything either, and you work for the New York Times.
Well,
Bill Maher didn't let up for a second. He kept the heat on high, pulling back the curtain on Schiff's blatant hypocrisy and torching him for serving outrage only when it's politically convenient. Maher laid it out. Schiff's moral compass only spins toward his favorite talking points. Take the case of a judge arrested for helping an illegal immigrant evade ICE. Schiff suddenly developed political amnesia. No outrage, no fiery speech, no call for justice, just a shrug, as if he'd never heard the story. But that same headline had even hinted at Russia. Schiff would have been in front of cameras before sunrise, delivering a dramatic monologue and a stack of breathless bombshells. That's Schiff in a nutshell. Outrage on demand, accountability on vacation. He doesn't chase truth. He chases headlines that serve his narrative. When it comes to flogging the worn-out Russia collusion storyline, he's got marathon stamina. But when a real legal scandal lands in his lap, he freezes. Maher saw right through it and called out Schiff's double standard without hesitation.
Up their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eyes. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch neck.
This wasn't a harmless slip-up. It was a calculated sidestep, the kind of selective outrage and strategic silence that makes Americans roll their eyes when career politicians claim they're just doing what's right. People don't want referees who only blow the whistle when it benefits their own team. Yet Schiff keeps selling the same tall tale, that he was booted from the House Intelligence Committee for bravely taking on MAGA villains. The truth? He was shown the door because his Trump-Russia case collapsed like a Jenga tower built from lies and wishful thinking. His evidence was nothing more than political smoke and theatrical mirrors, hyped up to keep his supporters believing the big reveal was just over the next hill. But there was no summit, only a cliff, and when the whole thing fell apart, Schiff didn't take responsibility. He flipped the script, recasting himself as a political martyr punished for standing up to Trump. That's not courage. That's political damage, Control 101. Schiff's playbook hasn't changed. Keep his base emotional. Keep the buzzwords flowing. Throw in a dramatic pause. And pray no one looks under the hood. But under the hood, there's nothing. No substance. No results, just empty rhetoric wrapped in righteous posturing. The facts are catching up. Schiff built his career on deception, deflection, and division. And now the mask is slipping, revealing not a principled statesman but a political illusionist whose biggest trick is keeping the truth out of sight. His loyalty isn't to accountability or the people of California. It's to his own climb up the ladder. Maher, Gutfeld, and a growing number of Americans are pulling back the curtain, and the stage lights are starting to dim. When they go out, all that's left is a record, and Schiff's record speaks volumes about where his priorities have always been.